Honestly, like I'm looking at this list, and I don't know that there's anything in here that's like a lock either.
Right.
You know?
Let's leave it on for now.
That's because we haven't talked about the end of StarCraft 2 yet.
Okay, let's talk about that right now then.
Dude.
All right, so what happens?
I just read something that makes me 10 times more excited to tell you how stupid the ending of this game.
Bring it on.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. So they've had this 5-year arc of building to this like galaxy-spanning ultimate evil that everybody's got to team up and fight, right?
Yes.
But because this is the Protoss expansion, they've apparently felt compelled to make you play as the Protoss 100% of the time, which has the consequence of making it feel like the other two factions aren't really doing anything in this fight, right? Like it feels like the Protoss are handling all the heavy lifting themselves.
Right.
But then you beat that guy, and then there's 3 more missions. Like the campaign is over, and then they unlock what they call like an epilogue, which is a little 3-mission separate thing where they go, we beat him, but there's a weird signal coming from the void. And then you go investigate this, and it's a portal to the void, which is apparently where evil lives.
Oh,
and the bad guy is still hanging out in there.
Is it the cow level?
It might as well be.
And you killed the Taken King in our plane. We got to go deeper.
Yes, very much that. And it's like, oh well, and it's Jimmy Raynor, Kerrigan, and Artanis, the Protoss dude, and they're like, we have to go in there and kill him for real this time. And they go in there, and it's 3 missions because they want to have you play as each faction for one mission at the very end.
Yeah,
and you go in there and you meet the final Xel'Naga. Like if you've
the precursor race,
they're the ancient aliens that seeded all life. Blah blah blah. And for like no particular reason, he's hanging out in there, and he's like, they're like god level. They have like divine powers basically to create and destroy. And for no reason that he explains whatsoever, he can no longer continue to exist. But if he were to put all of his essence into Kerrigan, she could carry out his mission.
What is his mission?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, stop the bad guy and like save the universe.
Wait.
Oh, so he's not the bad guy.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is another Xel'Naga. So the bad guy is a Xel'Naga, but this is another one that just happened. You've never met him throughout the entire game, but you just ran.
So this other
you run
ancient
into him
alien dude just shows up.
He's apparently the last one because the bad guy killed all the others.
Okay.
But he, in a Voldemort-esque twist, cannot live in his body.
Apparently
or
not.
Okay.
So he's got a Horcrux that shit.
Well, he's not even like embodying Kerrigan. He's literally dying, but in the process turning Kerrigan into a god. Like Kerrigan becomes god at the end of this game. In the most like
she's already been Zerg and human.
I guess so.
Why not?
So she, in the most adolescent, like over the top anime looking way, like becomes like 100 feet tall with fiery angel wings and is just like this being of pure light that you then go into the last mission and control as like the hero unit.
Really?
As you roll around just destroying everything.
Is it challenging at all?
Kinda. I don't know. Whatever. Like at that point, the pacing was so weird. I felt like I had already beaten the game once, and I was like, now I'm immediately doing it again. Like I kind of wanted it to just be over.
So is she super evil?
No. So that was part of the second the Zerg expansion was. They made her human again, but then she decided to become Zerg again. But this time she's a good Zerg.
Right, but it's super evil.
No. The good one of the precursor race gave her the power to stop the last guy who was the super evil dude.
So did they have like a Godzilla-like fight?
No, because he's like kind of chained up because you beat him in the real world, so he's like gathering his strength in the void, but this is your chance to kill him.
Okay.
Anyway,
real Eye of Sauron kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So Kerrigan's like 100 feet tall and like a fiery angel, basically, and just rolling around destroying everything. So at the end, you beat the guy and like it's all over with, and then like Jimmy and Artanis are just standing there, and like Raynor like totally did not want her to do this because he's got this like unrequited love for her or whatever, but she's like, oh, I have to or whatever, and then she flies off at the end of the game. And he's just super bummed about it.
As a 100-foot tall light being?
Well, she's God now. She's literally God.
She literally looks like Phoenix from like the X-Men.
Oh, did you look it up?
Looked it up.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is really fucking dumb, right?
Yeah.
There's more.
Oh, what?
Oh.
So she zooms out of there. She's like, oh yeah, I can't hang around here. Clearly, I'm fucking God now, and she's gone. And then they cut to like a montage of just still images of like, here's what happened. It's like, oh, the new Terran Dominion like entered an unparalleled age of peace, and like the Protoss, blah blah blah.
Raynor graduated college and started a...
It's totally kind of that.
Senator Raynor, thank you very much.
And everything is like peaceful and whatever. And then they cut back from those still images to more actual video of Raynor hanging out at the same bar the whole StarCraft 2 arc started in, by himself, just drinking, like totally super bummed.
And then Tony Stark walks in.
And then there's like a shot over his shoulder while he's drinking, and it's really out of focus, so you can't quite see, but there's enough outline there to see what's going on. And it's Human Kerrigan shows up and just says one thing about like are you coming or whatever?
It's about damn
and he literally says, "Hell, it's about time." It cuts and it says James Rayner was never heard from again.
Wow.
It gets better. What? I think I might have gotten that out of order. I think that might happen before the montage of still images, but there was one at the very end of that montage that I totally didn't pick up on until I just like randomly saw this on Reddit. I didn't put two and two together. After the Protoss rebuilt, like the Terrans found peace, like the Zerg retreated to their homeworld. There's a little aside at the end that's like sensors detected strange alien, like new alien life forms appearing on worlds where no life had existed. And the interpretation I just read about that was Rayner and Kerrigan were doing some divine space boning and Adam and Eving up every planet they could find.
StarCraft 3. 4 factions.
StarCraft 3, space god fucking.
It's the most amazingly stupid thing you could have possibly done at the end of this game, to the point that I think I actually love it.
That has so many layers to it.
Yeah.
We can't cut that yet, that's for sure.
It's pretty
Holy
good.
cow.
Now do you see what I'm getting at with my Ghosts of Mars?
Yeah.
Man.
StarCraft Ghosts of Mars.
You
really something.
have sold me on playing through the rest of that.
Well, I just kind of told you all the best
No,
parts.
you gotta
I
see
think
it.
maybe just watch that thing.
Yeah, you could watch the ending. Although, like I said, John Delancey's really good in that game.
wow.
All right, now let's talk about the real best moment of the year, which is the devil horns in contradiction.
Yeah, this can probably go.
It was what a
holy
funny,
cow.
weird. I mean, in a game of nonstop